Andrew Whitaker sees a little black girl working under the hood of his Mustang and assumes she's just a precocious kid with dirty hands, just a distraction. But what he doesn't know, that girl wears the emerald ring he gave away in shame, the key to unraveling his father's darkest secret. Stick around, because when the cameras catch her fixing more than engines, and Whitaker's secret explodes, Andrew's empire won't just crack, it'll collapse. Justice doesn't always knock. Sometimes it hums like a rebuilt engine in the hands of a girl who remembers everything. Where in the world are you watching from? What time is it there? Let us know, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. The afternoon sun glints off CEO Andrew Whitaker's signet ring as he towers over his stranded Mustang, watching the small figure bent over his engine with mounting unease. His manicured fingers drum against the hood, a nervous tic he hasn't displayed since taking over Whitaker Industries. The child, Maya Johnson, works with practiced precision that both impresses and disturbs him. "Timing belt's shot," Maya declares, her emerald ring catching the light as she straightens up. Andrew Whitaker's breath catches sharply. That ring. His mind rockets back 12 years to Little Angel's orphanage, to a tearful goodbye and a small gift meant to ease his conscience. "Where did you get that ring?" The words snap out before he can stop them, sharper than intended. His usual corporate polish cracks, revealing something raw underneath. Maya flinches, but her chin lifts defiantly. "It was my mother's," she lies. Andrew Whitaker knows it's a lie, because he bought that ring himself. His phone buzzes. Probably the board wondering why he's late, but he can't look away from the damning green stone. A passing truck driver slows, phone raised. Andrew Whitaker realizes how this looks, a CEO in a $1,000 suit looming over a child mechanic, and forces a smile that doesn't reach his eyes. "I apologize for my tone. Your skills are remarkable." The words taste like ash. Maya's tools click against metal, accusatory percussion marking each second of silence, that familiar tune she's humming. It's the lullaby the Little Angel's children would sing. His father, Howard Whitaker, had called it charming, right before implementing Project Prometheus. The truck driver uploads the video. Within hours, hatched Whitaker's secret starts trending. A CEO harassing a child mechanic makes for viral content, but they don't know the real story. Not yet. Andrew Whitaker's hand trembles as he polishes his signet ring, the Whitaker family crest gleaming with generations of power. But power built on what? What really happened during his father's strategic acquisition of Little Angels? How many other Maya Johnsons are out there? The mechanical clicks continue, each one a ticking countdown. Maya works with the focused determination he remembers from those other children, the ones his father had such special plans for. Special plans that made Whitaker Industries billions. Type secrets if you think some mysteries should stay buried, the CEO whispers to himself, his perfect world starting to crack. In his mind, he's back at Little Angels, watching his father sign papers while children disappeared into the system. He'd told himself they were being adopted. The emerald ring was supposed to buy his conscience's silence. But here it is, 12 years later, accusing him with every glint of sunlight. Will the mighty Whitaker empire survive what this child's presence threatens to unveil? Can Andrew Whitaker maintain his carefully constructed reality when Maya Johnson's very existence challenges everything he's chosen to believe? The engine purrs to life under Maya's expert touch. "All fixed, Mr. Whitaker," she says, wiping her hands on her overalls. Her eyes meet his with unsettling knowledge. Sometimes broken things need more than just a mechanical solution. The CEO's world has never felt more precarious. As Maya packs her tools, that haunting lullaby still hanging in the air, Andrew Whitaker faces the first tremors of an earthquake that will shake his empire to its foundations. His signet ring catches the light one final time, a beacon drawing him toward a truth he's spent 12 years trying to forget. Share this video if you think some secrets deserve to be exposed. Subscribe to see the empire crumble. Whitaker secret. Andrew Whitaker's fingers tremble slightly as he traces the Whitaker Industries logo embossed on decades-old folders. The mahogany-paneled office that once felt like a throne room now seems to close in with each revelation. His father, Howard Whitaker's voice, haunts every shadow. "The future belongs to those who shape it, son." The leather chair creaks as Andrew Whitaker leans forward, spreading documents across his desk like tarot cards foretelling doom. Project Prometheus wasn't just an educational initiative. It was a calculated breeding ground for talent. His golden signet ring catches the lamplight as he uncovers file after damning file, each one a brick in his father's twisted legacy. "Sir?" His assistant, Patricia, hovers at the door. "The board meeting. Cancel it." Andrew Whitaker doesn't look up from a particularly disturbing report dated 1995. The words blur before his eyes. "Subject exhibits exceptional mechanical aptitude. Recommend immediate extraction." Below it, a familiar name. Diana Johnson. The same emerald ring he'd spotted on Maya's finger this morning had been documented here, tagged to Diana Johnson 2 decades ago. His father's elegant script marks the margins. Asset secured. Ring deployed. The clinical detachment makes Andrew Whitaker's stomach turn. Type legacy if you've ever discovered a dark family secret. Surveillance photos spill from another folder. Children with extraordinary abilities being monitored, evaluated, collected like rare specimens. The Whitaker Foundation orphanages were never sanctuaries. They were hunting grounds. Each acquisition perfectly timed after suspicious accidents left gifted children parentless. Andrew Whitaker's mind races back through years of board meetings, of nodding along as Howard Whitaker presented their special education programs with paternal pride. How many times had he signed off on funding requests, never questioning the surgically precise selection of gifted youth? The paperclips holding these fragments of truth feel like tiny handcuffs against his fingers. In one photo, a young Diana Johnson beams at the camera, her emerald ring glinting. The same determined smile he'd seen on Maya's face this morning. The timestamp shows it was taken 3 days before Diana's fatal car accident. "My God, Father," Andrew Whitaker whispers to the empty office. "What have we done?" His computer chimes with an incoming email. More digitized records from the Foundation's archives, each one adding to the weight of generational sin. The Whitaker signet ring feels heavier now, its golden surface reflecting his father's words. "We're creating the future, Andrew. These children are our legacy. But whose future?" The question burns in his throat like bile as he reads psychological evaluations of children separated from their families, their talents cataloged like livestock at auction. Maya's file appears on his screen. Her mechanical genius hadn't been coincidence. She'd been marked, tracked, groomed since birth. The office grows darker as evening creeps in, but Andrew Whitaker barely notices. His father's portrait on the wall seems to mock him now, those steel gray eyes holding secrets darker than he'd ever imagined. The same eyes that had gleamed with pride when passing down the signet ring, symbol of their dynasty. The future belongs to those who shape it, Andrew Whitaker repeats softly. But the words taste like ashes now. He opens his desk drawer, placing his signet ring beside the damning evidence. Its golden surface catches the last rays of sunlight, no longer a symbol of pride, but a shackle to a legacy of exploitation. Have you ever realized you were part of something terrible without knowing it? Share your story below. The weight of complicity settles over Andrew Whitaker like a burial shroud. He'd been the perfect heir, never questioning, never looking too closely at the foundation that built their empire. Now, as night falls over the city, he faces the truth. His family's legacy isn't one of philanthropy. It's a carefully constructed web of theft, manipulation, and calculated cruelty. The emerald rings weren't protection. They were tracking devices, marking gifted children for harvest. Each one a beacon leading back to Whitaker Industries, to Project Prometheus, to his father's grand design. And he, Andrew Whitaker, had been the unwitting gardener in this garden of stolen futures. Andrew Whitaker's fingers trace the heavy gold signet ring, its surface no longer gleaming with pride, but seeming to pulse with accusation. The mechanical hum of Whitaker Industries' ventilation system, once a comforting drone of efficiency, now sounds like the collective whispers of forgotten children. His eyes lock onto the security footage playing on loop, Maya Johnson's face appearing and disappearing across years of surveillance, always in the shadows, always running. "Sir, we've found more records." His assistant's voice trembles as she places another stack of files on his desk. Each manila folder feels like another brick in a wall of guilt. Andrew Whitaker opens the first one, his father Howard's distinctive signature stark against aged paper. Death certificates, accident reports, all linked to those who questioned Project Prometheus. The ring catches the afternoon light, casting a sickly green reflection across the damning evidence. Another file reveals a newspaper clipping. Little Angel's orphanage director dies in suspicious fire. The date matches his father's expansion plans perfectly, too perfectly. Andrew Whitaker's stomach churns as he recognizes the pattern. Every obstacle to their orphanage acquisitions removed with surgical precision. His computer chimes with another alert. The hashtag #PrometheusGate is gaining traction. Someone leaked preliminary findings about the death toll. His phone buzzes incessantly with board members demanding answers. The empire he inherited, built on his father's vision, starts to crack beneath the weight of truth. The security feed captures Maya again, her hands moving with practiced precision as she repairs an engine in some hidden garage. The same hands that fixed his car that fateful day. Her humming carries through the footage. That haunting melody he now realizes echoed through Little Angel's halls during his childhood visits. His father had called those visits character-building exercises. Now he understands they were exhibitions of power. "Mr. Whitaker," his security chief appears at the door. "We've lost contact with 3 more facilities. The staff, they're talking to reporters." Andrew Whitaker's reflection in his office window shows a man he barely recognizes. The proud CEO replaced by someone hunted by shadows. He touches the ring again, remembering his father's words. "This ring represents our legacy, son. Never let anyone threaten it." But the legacy burns now, searing his conscience with each new revelation. His private line rings. The board chairman. Andrew, what the hell is happening? CNN is asking about death records. Social media is exploding. For God's sake, tell me you can contain this. The mechanical hum grows louder, morphing into the accusations of 1,000 silenced voices. Through the glass walls of his office, he watches his employees huddled around screens, their faces painted with horror as #PrometheusGate trends higher. His empire of lies, built on stolen futures and silenced lives, trembles on its foundation. Maya's humming haunts him now, a survivor's defiant melody cutting through decades of carefully orchestrated silence. Andrew Whitaker slumps in his chair, the ring heavy as a shackle. "Have you seen the numbers?" His financial director bursts in, panic evident. "Our stock is in freefall. The media's calling it the Orphan Empire Conspiracy. We need to act now." But Andrew Whitaker can only stare at Maya's face on the security feed, her emerald ring matching his own, a twisted mirror of inheritance. His father's legacy, his burden now. The machinery of exploitation grinds to a halt as truth breaks through decades of darkness, and Andrew Whitaker finally understands. He's not just the heir to an empire, but the inheritor of countless ruined lives. Drop 1, if this revelation shakes you to your core. The mechanical hum fades to silence as the power in Whitaker Industries flickers. A symbolic death knell for an empire built on stolen dreams. Andrew Whitaker clutches his father's ring, no longer a symbol of pride, but a testament to generations of cruelty. The weight of consequence settles around him like a shroud, and in the growing darkness, Maya's defiant melody echoes louder than ever. The marble halls of Whitaker Tower echo with my footsteps as I approach the press conference podium, my father's signet ring weighing heavily on my finger. I, Andrew Whitaker, CEO of Whitaker Industries, feel the weight of generations of corruption pressing down on my shoulders. The cameras click incessantly, their flashes like accusatory lightning bolts. My hands tremble as I adjust the microphone, catching a glimpse of Maya Johnson in the front row. Her emerald ring glints under the harsh lights. The same ring that started this all, that opened my eyes to Project Prometheus's horrific truth. The federal prosecutors flank me, their presence both reassuring and terrifying. I stand before you today not as the CEO of Whitaker Industries, but as someone who must right a terrible wrong. My voice cracks slightly, but I force myself to continue. The signet ring feels like it's burning my skin. With deliberate slowness, I remove it, holding it up for the cameras. The symbolic gesture sends ripples through the assembled press corps. Project Prometheus wasn't a charitable initiative for orphaned children. It was... I steady myself, meeting Maya's eyes. It was a systematic program of exploitation and experimentation, orchestrated by my father, Howard Whitaker. The gasps are audible. Phones rise in the audience, live streaming my confession. I activate the presentation screen behind me, displaying the damning evidence Maya's ring had contained. Names, dates, medical records, all documenting decades of atrocities. Type, "Truth prevails if you believe in justice," I say directly to the cameras, knowing millions are watching live. Share this broadcast. The world needs to know. My phone buzzes continuously as #Whitaker Crimes begins trending. Each notification feels like absolution and condemnation rolled into one. The federal prosecutor steps forward, asking questions that slice through my carefully constructed world. "Mr. Whitaker, when did you become aware of your father's activities? How many children were affected? What do you know about the genetic experimentation?" Each answer tears another piece from my father's empire, and strangely, I feel lighter with every revelation. Security footage plays behind me. children in sterile rooms, my father's signature on documents authorizing unspeakable tests, Maya's own intake forms from 15 years ago. Suddenly, a commotion erupts at the back of the hall. Security cameras capture my father, Howard Whitaker, being led in handcuffs through his own building. His roar of rage and betrayal bounces off the marble walls. "Andrew, you ungrateful fool! You're destroying everything I built!" I stand straighter, facing him directly. "No, Father. I'm destroying everything you stole." The cameras whir and click, capturing his contorted face, my steady stance, Maya's quiet smile. Each flash feels like justice being served. Every tweet and share, another nail in Project Prometheus's coffin. "The Whitaker legacy ends today," I declare, dropping the signet ring onto the podium with a final, resonant clang. "But the truth and our responsibility to those we wronged, that begins now." I can feel the story spreading like wildfire across social media. Reporters scramble to be the first to break new angles. Maya stands, approaching the podium, her emerald ring catching the light, no longer a symbol of imprisonment, but of liberation. "Share this moment," I say to the watching world. "The truth must be heard. The victims must be recognized. And the powerful must learn. Justice will always find its way into the light." Behind me, through the floor-to-ceiling windows of Whitaker Tower, the sun breaks through the clouds, casting long shadows across the marble floors. My father's empire is crumbling, but from its ashes, something better will rise. Andrew Whitaker's hands tremble as I place the Whitaker Industries signet ring, that circle of gold that once represented absolute power, into the museum's display case. The clean, clinical lighting catches its smooth surface, so different from how it looked 5 years ago, when I wielded it like a weapon of fear. My reflection stares back at me from the glass, older and humbled. The plaque beneath reads, "The Fall of Project Prometheus, Corporate Reform Through Accountability." Each word feels like both an indictment and a release. Through the museum's grand windows, I can see the Johnson Center rising against the morning sky, its innovative architecture a stark contrast to the cold industrial facade of what was once Whitaker Tower. The sound of collaborative chatter and whirring prototypes drifts up from the workshop floors, a mechanical symphony so different from the silence my father Howard demanded. Maya Johnson passes through the atrium below, her emerald ring catching the light just as it did that fateful day in the garage. But now it's not a reminder of shame. It's a beacon. She's transformed my father's twisted orphan innovation program into a genuine incubator for young talent. Every patent filed, every scholarship awarded, every success story that emerges from these halls drowns out Howard's bitter prison interviews, where he still claims he did nothing wrong. "The children needed structure," he always snarls at reporters. "We were making them stronger." But the truth, my truth, is that we were breaking them, just as our father had tried to break me. My quarterly visit to the center always brings this wave of memories. The initial shock of discovering Maya's identity, the crushing weight of complicity as evidence mounted, the public revelation of Project Prometheus, and that final devastating board meeting where I chose humanity over heritage. The museum docent approaches, her badge catching the light. "Mr. Whitaker, the school group is ready for your talk." I nod, straightening my jacket. No power suit today, just simple business casual. These talks are part of my penance, my education. Each time I share our story, I see the shock, the anger, and finally the understanding in young faces. They learn that power without compassion is merely control, that legacy is what you build, not what you inherit. Type transform in the comments if you believe second chances matter, I whisper to myself, practicing the engagement prompt I've learned to use in these recordings. The Johnson Center's success has become a case study in corporate reformation. Maya's leadership style, collaborative, nurturing, innovative, has attracted global attention. Johnson. Legacy trends. Whenever a new breakthrough emerges from the workshops, a constant reminder that true power lies in lifting others up, not holding them down. My father's prized patents, once locked away in Project Prometheus, now fuel scholarships for thousands. The emerald ring Maya wears to every board meeting isn't just jewelry. It's a symbol of survival, of transformation, of justice served through creation rather than destruction. I take one last look at the signet ring in its case. Share this video if you believe every empire built on fear deserves to fall, I murmur, knowing these words will reach millions. The mechanical hum of innovation rises from below, a new generation's symphony drowning out the echoes of my father's cruel legacy. In the end, it wasn't the exposure that reformed Whitaker Industries. It was the chance to become something better. Maya catches my eye across the atrium and nods, her emerald ring flashing like a green light guiding us forward. We both know the truth now. Real power isn't in what you control, but in what you create. Drop 2. If this story of corporate transformation moved you, share to spread the message that it's never too late to choose justice over power. Johnson. Legacy. Corporate reform.